This is vocabulary list 8, WH questions. The most important thing to remember about WH questions is that they all have the same non-manual sign or the same expression. It's really a non-manual sign, which is eyebrows down. You want to look confused when you're asking who, what, when, where, why, how. Okay, so here are the signs. Make sure you've got that expression with them. So who can be signed 3 ways. You can start with kind of an L hand shape with your thumb on your chin, and it can either just wiggle your first finger back and forth, who, or instead of wiggling it just straight up and down, it kind of bends this way, who. One of the sort of older ways of signing who is this way. You just like trace little circles in front of your mouth. It's kind of older. I don't see that as much anymore as I see this one or this one. Okay. What? The sign for what, the question, not like if you're saying that's what I meant, you don't use it that way. This is literally just the question for what. Guess what? What, right? So it's 2 flat or 5 hand shapes with your palms facing up, and they're going to come back and forth this way. The movement here is coming from your elbows. Okay. What? What? When you want 2 one hand shapes, your non-dominant hand is going to have your palm facing you. Your dominant hand will have your palm facing out. And remember, your dominant hand always is the one that does the moving. So in this case, your dominant hand will make a little circle around and touch. Let's see if we can do that. When. Okay. When. Where is the number 1 hand shape, and you're just pointing like, is it over there or over there? Where is it, right? Movement comes from your wrists. Where? Why can also be signed 2 ways. There's the, so like the what's up hand shape, starts like that, and then the middle finger moves, okay? Only your palm faces your cheek, and you do it near your temple. Why? Why? Another way of signing why is to start with a 5 hand shape. Again, palm facing your cheek, fingers near your temple. And instead of doing this movement, you actually pull out until it's the letter Y, okay? Why? Why? Let's see, how. So before we learned, how are you? And that's a softer kind of movement. How are you? This is more like instructions, directions. How do you do this? How are we gonna, make this work? So you want 2 thumbs up hand shapes, and you're gonna put your 2 knuckles together, your first knuckles, all right? Then again, your dominant hand will do the moving back and forth. Your non-dominant hand just stays there. It's just got a supporting role. How? 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 Which? So you want 2 thumbs up, and it's almost like you have options. Which one do you want? This one or this one? That's the movement. Which? Again, with the facial expression though. It's got to be that way for all of those. Who, which, when, where, okay? All right, a few extra things related to questions. This is the sign for question. You want a number 1 hand shape, palm facing out, kind of the location's just right here in front of you. The movement is kind of fun, I think, because what you're doing, and I'm going to move it closer to you here, is you're drawing a question mark in the air. So you do a little circle like a question mark, then you pull your finger in and do the dot. Question, question, okay? Question. Let me do it really slow. question. So I have a question. All right, related to that sign is the sign that I call in English, I don't know what it's really called. I call it, huh? Like, do you want to go, huh? So it's like question, only you just bring it down. It's an X. Okay, it's an X, but you bounce it, huh? So I got a question for you. What do you think about this? It can be used kind of to end a question. It can be used to start a question. And it's kind of like, huh? What do you think? Do you? All right. To ask a question, it can be kind of done two ways. I've seen it where, the sign for question, where you kind of throw it. Okay, question for you. I want to ask you something. Ask. Or you can do ask. I want to ask you. Ask you. Ask. And again, the location, I'm kind of moving it around, but the location, generally speaking, will just be here near your shoulder while your shoulder is relaxed. This can also be a directional question, which will move a little bit, which we'll talk about later, or a directional sign. So this is ask a question or ask a question. Or if you're asking something, like I'm asking you to help me out, I'm asking you if you'll call me tomorrow. It's not really a question, it's a request. So you want two flat hand shapes, palms facing each other, a little bit out away from your body. Then you're going to bring them together, near you. So I kind of think about this sometimes. We say, can I please go? Right? I'm asking you if I can go. Ask, please, please. Right? Ask. All right. That is vocabulary list 8. WH questions and a few other question related signs scattered in.